All right, so we're back on day 17 in the stack. Now, we talked earlier about the dark, and one of the next elements of the stack is a process that we call reduce the rage. Right in the beginning, we said, okay, we go into the dark. We can't see, we're blind, we can't see where we're going, and what we want to do first is dispel a lot of the emotion that comes in the dark. Right, we because uh, when we release the rage, what we want to do is like we want to actually experience the emotions, right? We want to get this energy, this force field, if you will, of negative off of our out of our way, right? We want to get this that's blocking our vision. We want to remove this, right? So, and because we wanted, and how we go about moving this is release the rage, right? We actually have the experience. We actually release anger. We release the energy, the emotional energy around this this trigger, so that we can actually move forward in a different perspective, right? And the way that we do this is we actually go through um, the series of questions, right? That we actually go through this, right? And the first question in this experience is in this moment, what or who has triggered us to drift, feel angry, frustrated, pissed off, hurt, upset, or disappointed, and why? And in this question, we don't just answer it like, well, Bob kind of pissed me off because he said this. No, like we actually engage the feeling, we actually engage the emotion, we actually released, as the title says, we actually release the rage. Like it actually is like, Bob, the fucking asshole, pulled this shit on me today, and he's the second time, and he did this, and I'm upset, and I am fucking pissed at him for doing this thing. Right? We answer the question with emotion because the object is not to like stifle it and create and withhold that energy. We hold that energy inside of us that we would do in the light. That's why we're doing this. Like, I don't say in the dark, it's not a secret, right? But that we're actually embracing the dark, and we're giving this the space to actually have this experience and release this energy, because what we want to do when we're pissed off at Bob is we want to burn his fucking house down. And these things aren't productive. They're not going to get us what we want, and they're not going to give us perspective, right? So what we want to do is we want to engage in the actual question with the level of passion, feeling, desire, and actions. We want to actually have that full experience so we can take this force field of energy and emotion off of the table and out of our plate. And this is basically what we're saying. We're saying we're going to we're going to open our eyes, right? It's not that we're walking around with eyes shut. We have vision. It's clouded, right? It's clouded by this force field of emotion, right? So what the purpose of this release to rage is to dissipate the energy around this, right? Second question. In this moment, if you could scream at this individual, what would you say? Right? So, and scream it with the expression like, Bob, you fucking asshole, I've told you 10 times, like, this is what we're going to do. You are the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, right? Like, release it. That's the object of it. Release it. It's not like if I could say, like, Bob, you want to move your car? It kind of like ran over my dog, You have to engage fully in the dark, like play in the dark, and embrace the dark. You'll find that this is a shitload of fun in the end, because you can actually go through this, and it actually puts you in a wonderful place, right? Second question, if you or third question, I'm sorry, if you could force this individual to think, say, or do anything, what would it be? Right? In this case, I'm like, Bob, you stupid motherfucker, you parked on my front lawn, you ran over my dog. Like, if I could force you to do anything, I'm like, back up your fucking car, bring your dog, let me fucking kill the goddamn thing here, and then pick up my dog and go buy me a new puppy, right? But you have to be able to express all of the emotion in the passion and level that you feel it, right? This isn't a game where we have to appease, or we have to be nice to Bob because he's our neighbor, right? We can actually release this. We can actually get the full perspective, right? Next question that we want to ask is in this moment, and all of these questions actually come in this moment. Like, we don't project out, like, like, I wish I would have never moved here. That obviously isn't it. We have to be real and answer all of these questions in the place that we are in this moment. It doesn't do any good to project it forward or backwards, right? We got to be present in this moment, right? In this moment, with no filter or constraints, what do you truly think about this individual, right? So in this case, Bob, what do I really think about Bob? I think Bob's a fucking moron, right? He should have his driver's license banned. He should be restricted to wheelchair transportation, right? Like you can go crazy on this. Like, what do you truly think of him? Like in this moment of darkness, I could think that about Bob, even though Bob might have been a good neighbor. But again, the focus is in this moment. Like that's the next question, right? And the next question is what do you never want to experience with Bob again, right? And in this case, perhaps it could be like, I never want to deal with Bob again. I never want to have the experience of thinking he's an asshole. I never want to have this experience of dealing with my kids and telling them my ran over my dog or whatever it might have been, right? But you have to be very clear in the moment of what is it that you do not ever want to experience again. And again, the level of passion is important. Actually, because the point is to get the rage out, even if you don't know it's there. Like, let it go. Like, once you give yourself permission to actually let go of this, like, it is freaking liberating, I'll tell you. So, last question. If you had to put all of your feelings in one singular trigger statement, what would it be? And this is where you could sum up the whole situation. I'm pissed at Bob because he's a fucking moron, or whatever it might be, right? But have this, summarize the whole situation. And again, the release the rage is an element of the stack. And if I could encourage you to do one thing, it's to go all in on this. Like, I kind of pride myself in not having a temper or anger or whatever, but I find myself with a bunch of anger like built up. And this is one of the most fun experiences for me in the stack. But you have to do it with passion in the moment that you feel it. So your assignment going forward is to teach this. If you can't teach it, you don't know it. And if you don't know it, you can't live it. So do that along with the remaining assignments for the rest of the day. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, we're on our way.
Oh, where are you at about?
Between Sherwood and her house.
All right. All right. Well, I'll just see you there sometime between Sherwood and her house.
Alrighty, sounds pretty.
All right. We'll see you there in a few minutes. Were you able to get your passport thing done?
No, because this morning I was rushing and I forgot it on the table.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
So.
All right.
Tomorrow I have doctor's appointments in Addison, so I can probably find a place to get it signed down there.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. No, just no hurry. I don't think there's a hurry. I just want to be encouraging,
Oh yeah,